This is a smile. From seeing your special someone to enjoying the things that you love, like watching anime or reading manga, you'd always bound to have a smile on your face, or to let out a smile on your face, right? This sort of gesture can harbor many different emotions, most notably happiness, but it can also, you can also carry, or it can also be fitting with a sort of sad or angry expression. It kind of depends, right? But either way, most notably, this is a sort of gesture, right? When someone smiles, it's really contagious, right? It's something that really lifts the spirits of oneself and those around you. It's a really wonderful thing. But there is one smile that really speaks a lot from it, right? A specific smile from a specific character. Tell me, Rindo, about the beauty of the Hahari smile, right? Now, this sort of smile originated from, of course, none other than Hahari. In this one panel from Iku's debut chapter, in chapter 34, we get to see this figure of Hahari carrying this smile, right? From a distance, you just don't mind really, right? That's just there. It's quite funny, right? The way that it is, and some people, I guess, don't really mind it or forget about it, right? But for quite the long time, really, ever since I first saw this image of Hahari drawn in this style with this expression that she has, I've been captivated by it, really, because of how it speaks to me at such a, well, that's what I'm exactly gonna tell you about, right? In this specific expression, right, we also get to see it actually in another chapter, in chapter 44, and even Hahari also did a similar expression with it, in this chapter right here. And if I may say, like mother, like daughter, indeed, right? Now, talking about the design primarily, right, it couldn't be as simpler as it is, right? A very simple expression, a very simple smile, there it is, right? It's just how it is. Unless you could go even simpler than that by just using dots for the eyes instead, but I suppose that could be one way. But it's also precisely because the eyes are drawn like this, right, in this sort of crescent shape, and it's in this sort of very orientation, that it provides the key for us to understanding just how beautiful the message that it's trying to convey, right? And let me tell you about it. The entire figure of Hahari in general, right, is drawn in this very, well, simply oversimplified version of Hahari, right, including just enough features to know that, yep, this is indeed Hahari, right? Instead, or rather, aside from the attire itself, for sure what gave it away was the huge knockers that she has. That aside, the entire reason as to why this oversimplified figure pairs nicely well with this expression, and also this sort of situation that they're in, is just peak. Amazing. So the reason why Hahari was in such a state, right, is because of Nano's comment, of which I paraphrase: eccentric types fit in here, that is the family, the Rindo family, all too well, right? And you would have Hahari standing in the view, drawn like this, and having also a question mark popping out of from her head, right? And in this manga series, there's no hiding or denying the fact, right, that all of these characters, girlfriends and Rintaro alike, have very uniquely eccentric traits to them in every dimension possible, right? And for someone like Hahari to have that sort of puzzled look on her face indicates that she may or may not know what Nano is referring to or what she is talking about, because it's essentially saying that, hey, everything's fine just the way it is, right? This is a normal day in the everyday life of the Rintaro family in the Siakano universe. There's nothing wrong, right? What's the big deal, and that sort of, gist, right? And the beauty that at least I can interpret or find from this smile as to why I really love it is that it's a sort of representation, right, of how we as people, are sometimes placed within situations, communities, or societies of which we are clueless about our own selves, or we are unaware that what is normal or common for us may be unique or uncommon to them, right? Now, I'm not saying that being ignorant of our own persona is good, right? I believe that each and every one of us should develop a moral understanding of our own lives, of being aware of what we are capable of the type of person we are, and developing that self-awareness is really important, right? And I'm also not saying that being unique is a bad thing, right? Because in fact, that's really really the thing about life, isn't it? That our individual uniqueness, you know, from our appearances to our personalities, is exactly what makes us, you know. It gives us a reason and a motivation, meaning, so to speak, right, to really stand out and live the lives that the way that we wanted to. Hahari, through the smile, shows us that it's okay for her to be the way that she is, despite the eccentricness that she has, you know, and that it's okay for you to be yourself, right, and not worry too much about what other people would say, right? From the saying, ignorance is bliss, you know, here and there are really a multitude of different reasonings as to why it's that sort of phrase is both a good and also a bad thing, right? For example, on one hand, being ignorant protects you from the cruel hard truth of it all, right? To protect you from the harsh reality and making you worry less, and also make you focus on the brighter side of the picture. But on the other hand, it also stops you from seeing that harsh reality, right? That really cold truth, and also stopping you from making the right action to do something about it, right? Or to respond to it, right? Either to change it or to do whatever you want to address it and such, right? Which means that it can put you and others into really dangerous situations, right? If it really calls for it, right? But fam, in living our lives, awareness and information, or being informed about the things around us, about what's going on in the world and such, right, is so important at so many levels, right? At least to have an understanding about what's going on, right? And to be notified about the events that's happening, you know? But you know what, fam? When the situation calls for it, we can just simply smile, eyes closed, body so relaxed, and go, oh well. Again, don't do that every time, right? Just be responsible, right? But for Hahari, yep, she can do whatever she wants, and isn't that the beauty of it? And with that being said, thank you for listening, family, and take care.